Hi, I'm Nancy Reyner, and I'm here to give a review on some products by Arteza. So I have several different sets of pencils. I've got the Woodless colored pencils, and I have a set of their Colored Pencils Expert. I wanted to try those out. And I also have the Watercolor pencils, also called Expert. So first I want to say there's nothing better as an artist than finding an enormous amount of color assortment. So I am going to have fun. And in addition to these 3 sets of pencils, I also got this set of metallic acrylic colors, and this also has a big array of colors. I like sets. I guess you figured that out. So I'm going to try these out too. And I have 2 different types of surfaces to try out, all by Arteza. There's a journal. I like journal books. I wanted to try their journal book out. And I also wanted to try out their gallery wrapped canvas. So it's called gallery wrap when it doesn't have the staples on the sides. And just has a nice clean look, and I can paint the sides a color and opt to not frame it. So those are the things I'm going to review, and I'm going to try everything out and see how I like it. Let's start with the colored pencils first, and here's the set. It has a nice metal box. I like that because I travel a lot with my art supplies, because I like to do outdoor landscaping, plein air landscaping, and it's nice to have a substantial box. So this is pretty good. And it has 2 layers of color pencils. So here's one layer, and here's the other layer. At first I thought that they were the same colors, but actually they're not. But each one is in an array of warm to cool, or reds, yellows, greens, blues. And this too, but they're all different. So it's not that one tray is the same as the other. At first glance, it looks that way. So I have a piece of watercolor paper. It's just a regular old standard watercolor paper. It has tooth to it. To use colored pencils, you need to have something with tooth on it. And so I'm just going to pick out a couple colors and just to try them out. I like the feels a little bit waxy to me. I'm going to try pressing hard. I get a nice solid color. And I want to try to erase it. So to erase it, I just have a regular pencil eraser. I just want to see if it erases. It does. That part erases. When you press down and you get a solid area, it doesn't erase back to nothing, but it does soften it, so you can soften edges. Let me see how it piles colors on top of each other. I'll try it. I'll try a soft pressure and a hard pressure, and then I'll try using a couple on top. Let's see, here it is on top layering. It layers really nicely, and let's see on the. They start to resist each other, but so there must be some kind of wax in there. But they still work pretty well. They make nice lines. Let me try a few at the same time. They feel good, and I like the color arrangement. I'm going to try to sharpen one. Here's a sharpener. Let me dull this down a little bit. They do have a nice rich color to them. So I'm trying out a regular cheap pencil sharpener here, and that works really nicely. I can get a nice sharp point. And I also have a blade here that I can sharpen this way. So far the colored pencils seem really good. I really do like the color arrangement. I'm going to now try the other ones, which are called Woodless colored pencils, and I was curious about that and how they would compare to these just regular colored pencils. This is called Woodless colored pencils premium, and there's 24 of them. also a nice array of colors. I had trouble getting the box open. I figured I'd spare you, but this always annoys me, but I guess there's no way around it. Almost every product comes with this really tight plastic and you almost cut yourself trying to get them out. That's why this is really nice in the box, to have them already available. This is a little bit difficult. I'm trying not to cut myself on the plastic. I cut the plastic with scissors already before I started filming. There was no other way to open it. So I'm just going to pull out a light and a dark color and look at the difference. This Woodless colored pencils, I guess they don't need sharpening unless you want a sharp point. So I'm looking at the difference between these two colors. Here's the Woodless pencil and here is the regular pencil. They feel very similar. The Woodless pencils have a little more weight to them. I'm going to try to sharpen it. No, they still, it sharpens to a hypodermic point. Make a weapon out of it. So these are pretty good. I'm going to actually try the colored pencils on the Arteza journal that I got and see what the paper is like compared to this generic watercolor paper that I have. So here's the Woodless pencil. They have to press a little harder to use them. I don't quite know why I would use the Woodless colored pencils over the regular ones. They're nice, but let me see how they compare to the regular. They just have a different feel to it. There's a different weight to them. They're also a different size. They kind of fit nicely in my hand, and for travel, I think that the Woodless colored pencils would be good because they're smaller. I would take them out of this plastic thing, contraption, and put them all in a pencil case for easy travel, but that would be good. Let's see if they go over each other. This paper is really nice. I'm liking the paper. It's actually better than this generic watercolor paper. It has a nicer tooth to it, and it also has a kind of a creaminess to it. I like that instead of a cold white. There's kind of a creamy, soft, creamy color to it. It has a lot of pages. It's bound really nicely. Sorry, I'm jumping from the pencils to the book here. The one complaint that I have about the book, and if Arteza is listening, maybe they'll improve it, but I really like covers, and I tried to take this label off, the Arteza label, and I could not. I did finally get it off with soaking it with water, and let's see if this one, it does come off, but what I don't like about it is that it kind of sticks to the tooth of the cover, and it has a little imprint. I wish they would get a glue that doesn't grip so hard on the cover, because it's really nice when you have a journal to decorate the cover yourself or just feel like it's yours and not a commercial tag stuck on it. So that would be my only preference. I like the journal a lot, but I would appreciate it if they got a better, less sticky tag for the cover. Now I'd like to try the water-soluble colored pencils, and those also come in a nice metal box, very strong. There's 72 of them, and they're called the Watercolor Pencils Expert Set. So they look very similar to the other set, but these are water-soluble. So what does that mean? That means that I can soften the edges and treat them like watercolor. So I have some water here, and I have some brushes here, and let's give it a shot. I'm going to try it on this journal paper, which I like, and I'm also going to try it on the canvas here. So let's see. I'll try a dark, rich color first. And I'll give myself some, these are nice. They have a soft quality to them, not as waxy. I'm gonna try to, before I add water to them, I'm just gonna try to pile them up. See what happens when I add one color on top of another. Let's see, let's try the pink. Oh, these really pile up on top of each other in a nice way that the other ones didn't. So now let's try I'm gonna try a small brush here. And they really work nicely with the water. I like to work with acrylic paints, so what I can do is do a sketch with these colored pencils and then soften the edges with the water. This is nice. I'm going to try just putting water down first. The paper is holding out nicely too with the water on it, and I'm going to try one of the pencils in the wet. So here it is going through the wet, and here it is through the dry. It's a little softer, so if you wanted a soft look, you could wet the paper first and then put the pencil on. Let's just give this a try here. These are fun. Nice rich colors, and they dissolve well in the water, so I like these. I'll bet you could combine the different pencils together. Once this is dry, I could then use the other pencils on top of it. Let's try it on the canvas. First, I'll try these water-soluble pencils that I've just been using. Canvas has a nice tooth to it. It's a nice white. If I wanted it whiter, I could add another coat of a primer on there. I'm liking these better on the paper because I can press harder. That's just what happens when you're using canvas. It's kind of sinks, it has a springiness to it. So it's actually better for brush work than for pencils, but I just wanted to try these. So now I'll take my brush and try it. They're beating up just a little bit on this canvas, and but now they're settling down a little bit. Let me try it through the wet. Really works nicely. I like them. Okay, so there is the colored pencils, the Woodless colored pencils, and the water-soluble colored pencils. And now I'd like to review this 36 metallic acrylic colors. I've never used it before. Looks like a really cool set. And I like that the top has all of the names of the colors, a little color chart. That's great. So much easier to open than the Woodless colored pencils. And let's see, I'm going to put them over here for a second. And they come in, oh wow, there's a lot of them. Let's see. Boy, there's quite an array. I'm going to grab a plastic plate just as a palette, and I've got a palette knife. I've got my canvas, and I'm just going to try this one. Let's see, Pearl Lilac. And it does look pearly. You can see right here, it's pretty pearly. And it does have a nice thick texture to it. This one's called Pearl Lime Green. Interesting colors. I'm going to find one that looks like gold. This one, Aztec Gold. They're not easy to get out of these trays, so I would probably put them all in a baggie and just spread them all out on the table. But if you like to be, if you're traveling with them or you like to be neat, these kind of work well as containers. So I'm going to first try it with the palette knife just so I can see the texture. And it has a nice thick texture to it. Let me get some room over here. And I'm going to try squeezing it right out on here so you can really feel it. It feels good. Let's try to stack the gold on top of it. They blend nicely. They scrape back nicely. Colors are pretty brilliant and fun. And then we can take water, and just like I did with the water soluble pencils, I can run a brush through it. And what I like to do to try out paint is I like to try it thick and thin. It's called mass tone and undertone. Then I like, without adding any water, then I like to try it with water in a wash, and then I like to kind of wipe it off with a paper towel and see what kind of textures I can get. Let's try this green color, very interesting green color. These are nice. Let me see how the gold compares to actual gold leaf. I like to work with gold leaf a lot in my own work, and here's a board that has a texture and some gold leaf. Let me give it a shot and try out the let me try out the one that's just called plain gold. See how it compares to gold leaf. So here's the gold leaf board. It has some texture, like I said. Here is the gold paint from Arteza, and it's called gold. And I'm putting it on. It looks pretty good. It's not going to look like gold leaf. Paint never looks like gold leaf, but the color comes pretty close. And I can start to add different colors. Here I'm mixing the purple and the gold together to kind of soften the gold color. It's pretty. I like this. I really like their assortment of colors in this range of pearlescent metallic paints. I'm going to try another one here. Let's see what this is like. This is called Pearl Pink Tulip. And I'll try it with just a brush. And add some water to it to see how it holds up when it's diluted. And just scrape back a little bit. So I like these. These are great. I'm going to just go ahead and keep playing with them, and I hope this review helps you decide if you like the products yourself. Again, it was the regular colored pencil set and the Woodless colored pencil set, the water-soluble colored pencils. The canvas, which has a very nice tight bounce to it, and the journal, which seems to be holding up well with the water on it, and isn't wrinkling, really. It wrinkles a little bit when it's wet, but this part's dry and it's flat now. And also these set of metallic paints. Thank you so much. I have lots more videos on my website and also on my YouTube channel. Please visit me. Thank you.